of parasitic type of vibrations and attachments, whatever you want to call it, it does something to it, like almost like dries it up. Okay. And so for some of you, these people, like I said, they have created such towers in your life constantly, and you realize that's what's behind all this sudden, constant cycles of disruption. They do stuff to you to cause you to sabotage. You know, it's basically like a terrorist. If you continue to terrorize them, they'll continue to leave. Parasites and predators love to hunt, love to chase, okay? But all at the same time, it makes you look like the problem because you're somebody that's constantly fleeing. You're somebody that's constantly leaving. You're somebody that's constantly seem to have to start over again. Now, in the Lost Boys movie at the end, this was them standing and fighting, realizing that no matter where they ran, these things were going to continue to follow them. And that's where some of you are at. You're realizing that the systems are filled with all of these people, these things, and they will acknowledge your face, they will appease you, they will talk to you, they will try to feel you out and scan you. But at the end of the day, it's to, you know, make you look bad, you know, but to feed off of the pain and suffering of you and your children. Okay, you're stronger than you think. You see that down there, and then you see over here, you are every kind of fierce. It's not to say that you don't, if you're anything like me, this is not to say that you don't feel pain, that you don't suffer, that you don't feel fear. Some of you may fear in a way that people don't think, that people aren't privy to. They may think that you're afraid in a standard way. Some of you all are only fearing because you have children. You really could care less. Your fear or anything related to fears is somehow connected to children. Not so much what they're doing per se, their spells and all that. It's you being in this constant state of cleanup, and then your children, because your children are open receivers, but it's not the type of fear that they really think it is. Okay. And yeah, some of these people are going to be experiencing their own towers. Yes, they were behind all these towers and causing you to create towers by sabotaging you every time you have, you know, any progress, any success, any healing. They start concocting things. They start getting people to pull back, you know, resources, to stop doing the things that they'll do and typically normally in these programs in order to push you to feel like you have to do something. Because if they start shutting down everything, basically leaving this sense of entrapment that you can't navigate through, then most normal people are going to feel, I need to do something then. Because if I can't properly navigate, that's been a part of it. At least giving you the feel of it by way of causing sabotage, delays. We're not going to answer the call. We're going to play like we were in meetings for 3 whole days. We're not going to, you know, do this, not going to do that. And basically making your efforts, your hard work, your diligence with, you know, whether that is calling people, going to appointments, filling out paperwork, seeking things, making it all for naught. Okay. So let's see, there's something to do with the tub. So I want to encourage some of you who isn't seeing this video, there's something to do with that. And if you're like me and you like to try and test and feel things out rather than just sit up and be believing some Joe Schmo or Josephine Schmo on the video, okay, your discretion is advised. Be aware of your own health conditions and allergens and all of that stuff. If you feel you have some stuff, get some bunch of garlic cloves. If you don't have a bunch of garlic cloves, get a bunch of garlic powder. If you don't have a bunch of garlic powder, get some garlic salt. Something that whatever you can get on your hands on, and as much as you possibly can with your intention. If you have access to a tub especially, because that's what we're talking about, get the water, set that intention, get that, fill it up, and dump yourself in there like you're baptizing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Soak in that for about 30 minutes, holding the intention. of every parasitic vibration that you're holding that's been projected, that you inherited, everything that they're throwing at you with their sigils and their smoke and their incants and their word buzzes and phrases and all that stuff. Okay? They're putting on doors, blood, jelly, all the ways in which they continue to try to affect your energy metaphysically. Okay, set that intention, especially as it pertains to Arconian, reptilian, draconian energy. But if you're not so much privy to all that, just think of it as a dense, parasitic, leechy type of vibration that has been draining the life out of you, and that has been clouding your judgment, and that has been causing you. Okay, so let's going to do a you and a versus them. We already know that they have caused you, because I'm in one. I don't know what's to come of me and my son. Okay, it's been this continual, perpetual cycle of chasing me around, dealing with all of these government agencies and programs and people and places. And as soon as there's any progress, then they'll get people to amp up either their spell work or sabotagery tactics. And then I have to get up and uproot and move and start over again. But here's what's true. I am nobody's road runner. Neither are you. The only reason why any of you have left is because of sabotage to your efforts. You didn't leave simply because people were attacking you. You've been taking attacks your whole life. You've been taking attacks even more so since you started, living your truth. So it's something that you have become very, very used to. The reason why some of you all leave is because people start to sabotage your ability to stabilize and take care of you and your children. Period. That's it. So they're misinformed. Terribly, terribly misinformed. Once upon a time, maybe you left out of fear, maybe in the earlier phases of it, but as time proceeded and you realize it's like, okay, now I'm trying to stabilize. I'm used to this. I'm leaving now because there are hindrances to me being able to do what I gotta do. But now you're starting to realize that even that is something that's going to continue. So you're now figuring out ways to clear this stuff out, and it's a part of what's bringing towers to these people. And if not all these people, it's certain players that this is happening to. Okay? So you versus them. Okay? This last mixture here is going to be for your encouragement, guidance, advice, whatever you feel, however you feel intuitively guided and drawn. Okay? Because I'm going to just do a rapid fire black lightning with this and set your intention of, okay, in this now moment, how this applies to me, how do I proceed to, help myself, to help my children, to deal with. Many of you are facing homelessness. Many of you are homeless. Many of you are facing a lot of things that has been made to make you look like you're the karmic, to make you look like you're the problem, to make you look like you're the one that's fickle and unstable. This has been a collaborative effort. People, unfortunately, are miseducated and misinformed when it comes to trying to evaluate what's what. If someone's homeless, then they're going to put them under the category of karmic. If somebody's got a nice fancy home and a semblance of so-called stability, then they're going to automatically put them in the category of a sovereign. And that's ignorance. The very thing that these people read in the Bible, for those that are Bible pushers, the very information that they read there talks continually, especially New Testament, about Jesus and his people and how they don't got nothing. It talked about John the Baptist, it talked about Jesus, and yet these same people wouldn't have even dared call Jesus, you know what I'm saying, as he was homeless and the Son of Man did not have nowhere to lay his head. They didn't look at him as an invalid. They didn't look at him as the information that he taught and stood on as invalid because he couldn't afford himself an apartment. Because he was wandering about. That's why I know that most people is full of shit. I'm just saying, that's why I know. Because it's in the book. It's there. The only people that was calling Jesus and them that back then was the same kind of people that are calling the sovereigns that now. Okay. And then, people using this, well, he died so that we wouldn't have to do that. Correct. So it's kind of this energy collective. Like, well, which one is it going to be? On one end, you'll hear these people say, you're supposed to suffer for the kingdom and blah, blah, blah. And then on the other end, when it's referenced in this way, then they'll say something like, well, that's what he came for, so that he took it upon himself, so that you wouldn't have to wonder about like him. But why so many do struggle and suffer then? I'm getting off track, but that is something to think about. Let's see these people that are experiencing their towers, okay? The karmics that have been, these parasitic vampire energies that have been a part of continuing to keep towers in your life for their feed being money, opportunities, and everything in between. Let's see what kind of towers are happening to them, the ones that it's happening to, that is unpleasant. It's unpleasant for them. This is not something that they calculated or wanted. It's unpleasant. It's bothersome. It's creating some concern. Okay. I have racing, avoiding, locked, closed and trapped, frustrated. Okay. Okay, so let's get it. Damn, bitch. Okay. How many minutes we got? I want this to be fast. These people, I have an offer on the table. Why? Okay, so why is that unpleasant for them? Because they always got offers going. So I need to understand, offer, proposal, commitment. Did they get into a bad commitment? Oh, did somebody have an affair? Did something to do with an affair come out? Love affair, dirty little secret down low. It wanted to come in the reverse. Somebody may have found out. Yeah, the internet. Somebody may found out about something on the internet. Okay, this is something that they didn't foresee. We're talking about their tower right now. We know what they've been doing to y'all. Offer on the table. What tower that is unpleasant? Fall season is in the reverse. It says this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship, your mind in the reverse. Somebody took an offer, okay, to possibly cause some kind of ending and breakup. But like I said, somebody is in a relationship, okay, that they don't want to be in, or did an offer. They're suffering something about taking some kind of offer, or somebody found out something about somebody offering somebody something to interfere with your relationship. And love affair. I love you. Okay, if this is unpleasant, then somebody could have found out, a truth could have been confessed. Somebody could have found out that they love someone else. Because again, we're talking what's unpleasant. Intuition is in the reverse. Internet. Somebody did not follow their intuition. They could be upset that somebody did something, paid somebody something to disrupt someone, and they're paying for that because this is unpleasant. You got trust issues. Now somebody got some trust issues. Somebody needs some time, damage, healing from a past relationship. Somebody knows that something happened because someone knows there are people that's been doing stuff to fuck up people's intuition. And as a result, fucking up people's intuition, making the wrong choices have created some problems. And somebody's finding that out. There's an affair on the table. And somebody's been captive. Somebody's in a bad marriage, a bad relationship. Yeah. A bad marriage, a bad relationship. Okay, let's get the tarot. This is what's the towers that are unpleasant. Somebody they trusted the wrong person. They got into something. Or it's coming out collective what these people have caused you, which is causing them some kind of issues in their own life. They could have had an affair with somebody that you were with this love affair. So let's see the towers, the things that this is unpleasant and is causing concern from the tarot perspective. Okay, what's happening to these people? Whoever this is unpleasant, it's causing concern, and it's coming out as a 16 energy. Okay, which is a tower-like effect, something that was not foreseen, something that was not already accounted or planned for. Okay, this spell on love you from the tarot. The karmic energies that have been hunting down the collective and creating towers. 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. Interesting. They could be shocked that they're being cut out, or they're having money issues, or shocked that people still love you. Even though you've had such negativity thrown at you, they're dealing with some kind of negativity in their life. For sure, with this 5 of Pentacles energy, this could be definitely having some kind of loss of money or loss of abundance, in a sense. And endings with the world here. This is something that they did not pursue. Clarify 5 of Pentacles. Queen of Cups. They could be shocked that you love yourself or that you're intuitive. Yeah. They're getting some kind of karmic cycle effect. Whatever they keep doing with this Wheel of Fortune reverse to bend the wheel in their favor. To cause you to lose, to continue to lose things, opportunities. Stealing. Oof. 4 of Wands in the reverse. 5 of Swords. Okay.
They could be doing.
Yeah, this instability.
For causing it.
So they're having some issues in their love life, in their home life. Something is happening here.
Or marriage.
Okay, this gossip, this smear campaigns, this gaslighting, this triangulation, and this hidden dishonor here.
Well, somebody could be violent.
We got 2 5s. And then we have an Emperor in the reverse. So this could be a male or female Aries, doesn't have to be, but this is somebody who is a control fucking freak. An Emperor in reverse is a bitchy, moaning, brooding, egotistical.
Yep.
Okay, they think they poopy, don't stink. They're cowardice. Okay, they're always trying to control everybody else, but they can't manage to control their own energy properly. Okay, something is getting out of control in their own life. They also don't like that you could be a Queen of Cups energy in the upright, that you can be discerning about your own family dynamics and roots and what they've been doing to you. Yeah, and then here's the Queen of Wands in reverse. So there's the karmic. There you are.
And they could also that could be them losing confidence. If this is about unpleasant towers
Yeah,
for
and
them,
there
they
is
could be
this.
losing
Yeah,
confidence
Wheel of
on
Fortune is
something
coming in the reverse. They keep
as
doing
well.
this.
Just so you
Nine of Wands in the reverse too.
Reverse.
Yeah, they keep trying to block, steal your life
Reverse.
force, your sexual energy, your children. They keep possibly, for some of you, fucking with youngsters or recruiting a bunch of youngsters to do shit here with this Nine of Wands. This is somebody that's just, this is parasitic. This is that vampiric energy. Okay. This is stuff people doing to cause you to be sick, cause your children to be sick, to stop, to drain your passion, to drain your opportunities.
So how's that?
So their tower is somebody is getting sick.
Probably.
Somebody in a household,
Or somebody in close.
somebody in close in their circles here.
Or maybe sexual issues. That could be indicative of.
Could be somebody's mother. Okay. Why is the Wheel of Fortune reverse? I'm going to end it here for them, for the ones. It says you're stronger than you think. They could be upset that you are aware of this stuff too, and that it's coming out. You know what's going on. The illusion, Seven of Cups in the reverse. Them stealing, blocking options, them trying to, make you, not know what to do, or feeling like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place and you have to choose something, and no matter what you choose, it's not going to be good kind of vibe. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, if you stay, it ain't going to be good. If you go, it ain't going to be good, because this is a parasitic thing that's been following you around. So no matter how many times you start over, they're there. No matter what state you go, they end up there. I can tell you this, every time me and my son move somewhere, I can guarantee you this, I saw each of the agents already there waiting for me when we arrived. I knew who they were immediately. They don't hide, they really become careless and sloppy at it, because a part of what they've been doing is trying to provoke fear, because I know that they're following. And they know that I know that if I tell people this, then nobody believes it. You see it? Likewise with you. Yeah, defense. They didn't know that you were going to protect yourself. They didn't know that you were going to stand up for yourself. They didn't know that you were going to work so hard. You see this bubble, that you were going to work so hard on your chakra systems, that you were going to work really hard to look away, to stop feeding the best you could, and to work on your energy, defending yourself, protecting yourself. They're having some fights right now.
They could also be
some of these people are looking for
your
defense.
Resilience, because I think Seven of Wands speaks of resilience as well.
Okay. They're shocked about that. Yeah, they're shocked. Yeah, Five of Wands. They experience this. They're shocked that you are something. I don't know. They having fights, chaos, conflict, because this is all the shit they've been sending to you. Constantly. You can't go outside without one of their weasels. Constantly.
Seven of Wands would be a pop back too. It just depends on what's happening to them. Because if this is about their towers,
Page of
what's happening to them,
yeah, hidden dishonor.
That's some shit.
Dishonor.
That ass.
And I have a King of Cups that wanted to come in the reverse. I don't really know how to read that there. And the Fool.
They're happening to the Count. Like, bitch, what's wrong with you?
was sick and this was dumb. This was foolish.
Nigga, what's wrong with you?
Okay, somebody is sick.
Shit you wrong?
And if they cause your children to be sick or anything like that, there's somebody in these people's lives that's sick, I guarantee you. They suffering, somebody is. Okay, these people lied. And it's becoming clear that they lied about where they were getting their new beginnings from. All these new great opportunities and whatever this success and stuff, and paying people to lie to you to think that you're going to be building something, which is creating this whole, you get somewhere, you go somewhere, and then it's just stubbornness, stagnation, and misfortune and sickness that they bring upon you and your children.
And then you have to leave, and then in the ear.
And anybody that's got 2 pieces of their brain left, if they're getting sick somewhere and they can see active activity, they're going to try to find something else.
But then it makes the collective look some kind of way, and that's essentially what they've been doing.
They lied about attacking you. They lied about why you were blocking them. They lied about why you were closed off. And this could be coming out. Yeah, 8 of Wands in the reverse. They lied about their successes. They lied about what you do online. They called you a liar. And they're suffering for it because it was true. They lied about trying to stop your plans and your successes.
Some of them have travel
Stealing
jobs.
your abundance. So now their plans is getting shit on. 3 of Wands in the reverse. They lied about stalking you to disrupt your plans. Page of Swords. They're being watched. Other people are looking. Yeah, offers to stalk you. Ace of Pentacles, Page of Swords. Offers to stalk you,
offering
steal
people
from
stuff
you,
to
and to cause
stalk you,
endings.
and something is happening to them now. There's some kind of unpleasant concern for some of these people. Possibly not the big wigs, you guys. This is usually, it's rare.
They took every opportunity. They did this for entertainment. They did this for
They're the last.
They did this out of boredom.
It's their pawns that suffer first.
And here's an Empress in the reverse. We've seen a Queen of Wands reverse and an Empress reverse. So this is definitely to do with 2 karmic feminine presenting energies, whether they're male or female. This is somebody's mother, somebody's wife, somebody's sister, somebody's aunt, somebody's niece. In some cases, somebody's daughter. Baby mama that took every opportunity. Somebody's sibling. Like I said, to disrupt your plans, to stop your ships from coming in, to block your travels, to block communication, to block your business online, messages, all those things.
So what's happening to you?
There it is, 7 of Cups, choices. They made a choice, illusion, to create an illusion. They had people working with them to cause confusion in your options. They wanted you to constantly feel confused and deceived and not know what to do and where to go. So they had people working. So now they're trying to figure out what the hell they're going to do here.
Just the ways to poison you.
Yeah, to keep themselves out of jail. 8 of Swords in reverse and 9 of Wands in reverse and Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, they're experiencing,
if they can get out.
Somebody is experiencing some sickness and stagnation for doing this to you.
To make you sick, to make you confused.
Okay. All right. So that's what's going on with these energies. Okay. And some of this is because you have learned something about all of this, and you could be applying all kinds of metaphysical things to clear this parasitic energy out of your life. Garlic is a strong significance of something that has been working for some of you, or this is maybe the guidance for some of you to take. It's not the end all be all and answer to all. This is a tool and a toolkit to help you from a metaphysical, vibrational, energetic standpoint. The practicalities you still have to do and apply. Okay, at the end of the day, I've been telling myself, and I'm going to tell you, it's your life, it's my life. It's easy for anybody, myself included, to tell you when you're the one has to live out in real time, you and your children have to live out in real time the consequences of all of it. okay? So your discretion is advised with that, okay? Take care of yourself, the best as you can. But if you're feeling your energy all discombobulated and all this stuff, as you're trying to navigate through all of it, the garlic soap, okay, I'm gonna even go on a limb, I'm gonna add some extra elements. Garlic, sea salt, vinegar, honey. And the reason why I added the honey, that was a shocking ingredient, is to sweeten your energy, okay? It's to soothe and coat, because all that stuff is surgical, okay? So when you get out, you're basically a porosity, you're basically a porous, energetic ball, because you just basically surgically purged everything, okay? Another thing that you can add are frequencies. So if you're hip to using solfeggio tones and other frequencies and you have access, hold that over the water with the intent to charge the water with those frequency properties and to work with the other component. That is like surgical precision alchemical work right there. Okay? When you get out, you want to rinse off with cold. I'm going to say if you can take it, the shower, do it. If that's too overpowering to just stand up and shower with cold water for some, then at best, get some cold water and ice and your entire head and rub it over your chakra points. Okay, if you in the back of your neck and stuff, if you can't take just standing entirely, then I recommend ice over all those places. And then if you have like almond oil, some kind of oil at your disposal, some cinnamon in that, rub it together and then rub it over your body or trace it over your orbital. That's also, is it gonna fix everything? No, but it's gonna give you some breathing room, some wiggle room to be able to be in your own energy, in your own thoughts, in your own resonance, to try to navigate the best you know whatever you're dealing with. This is easy for folks. Listen, it's easy for folks to tell you about what you need to do, but you know what they're doing. You know how often they're doing it. You know what their dynamic is. We don't. We may perceive and know because of psychic energy and all that stuff. We're not living it. This is your life. Take care of you, okay, and your children the best you can. But this is going to purge some of you wanting to shake a lot of things that may help, okay? Stuff that just seems can't leave you alone and that you can't leave alone, that you wanted to leave you alone. All right, so for you, we already know what they've been doing to you. So we're gonna come from the perspective, in spite of the towers they keep creating, in spite of the towers they keep causing you to create, okay? In spite of the towers, what is actually working in honor and favor of you, even though maybe in the moment it might not feel like it yet. And I'm not saying this to fluff you up and to get false hope and to, stay practical, stay grounded. But sometimes I could attest to this. It's hard for me to see what's working when I'm in the thick of combat and attacks and they're attacking my son, they're attacking me, and you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's hard to see anything other than what we're dealing with, the tower, the loss, the all of the bullshit, okay? So what's working for you?
The part for the collective.
This is for the collective. We know the towers is happening for them and to them, but what's actually honoring them? Even in the midst of it, recharge. Okay, so this is fascinating. I don't know, maybe you all are able to recharge some kind of way through this drainage, this exhaustion, the energy vampire, because this has been draining for you. Okay. This whole thing.
Well, of course it is.
Recharge. So you're being assisted with recharging.
Let me see. Of course it's draining. If that's resonating with you so far, I mean, not just the assaults and spell work, but with all that sabotage stuff, It is said that moving one's life is one of the most traumatic things that you can do. And that's something that I believe a lot of people don't even know. And for someone that is autistic, okay, like with my son, autistics and stuff, so it's going to affect them even more. Okay, this is all a part of design for some of you, if this is your dynamic and what you're dealing with. But anybody, so-called normal or whatever, the disruption and the, all of that is there is an effect to that. But the sabotage, so that's draining, feeling like you can't build anywhere, feeling like anything, anywhere you go and whatever you do, there's active intentional interference. In some cases, to such a magnitude to where they are reducing themselves to actually cause harm, okay, to you and your children without looking like it. This is one of the most insidious forms of criminal activity, because it's something that is hidden in plain sight. So you're pushed and you're left to have to make judgment calls that you wouldn't otherwise make. That ends up being still a wrong call, a wrong decision, because the bottom line of it all is, for those of you that this is for, these people are parasitics, these beings, this whatever it is for you. And many of you have subgroups. You have the bigwigs, like I said. This reading that's playing, the suffrage that we talked about on their side, it's not the bigwigs. I'm going to say it again. It's not. And I'm going to say this again. It will rarely be. Beings and people who have been in this thing for eons and stuff like that, they've mastered this stuff. And they've used their money and their privileges accordingly. So if anyone's going to hurt, it's just going to be the people in which they hire. And if it's not the people that they hire, everybody's got something vulnerable in their life. I don't know if I'm saying that in the right way, but let me give an example. Let's say the corruption a hired person that's doing some kind of crazy shit to you. Let's say they have protection. Whether that is protection with, the law, whether that is energetic protection, some kind of spiritual something. Let's say they have protection. Everyone, though, has something or someone vulnerable connected to them. Everyone. So let's say the person may have protection in terms of, okay, they're connected to the corruption of the city, the state, or whatever, in terms of the law. So they got that covered. But let's say there's a vulnerability in another area. It will be hit. It'll be hit. This is how this goes. The big wigs don't care. I'm just gonna, y'all better catch up out there. They'll get up on that. They'll just pay some more money and maybe that'll sedate you. Because everybody's got a vulnerability. So this is why people be having strange and unusual shit that's unexplainable. This is why. because they are in, let's say because they're in a cult, and so there's kind of protection, blah 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 blah, and then so when somebody does work to clear out something in their lives, and all these energies get dissipated or whatever happens, I'm not saying this happens all the time. I'm saying that in some cases, especially with this reading, then even if it bypasses and bounces, then it may bounce into something vulnerable in their life, a vulnerable, weak spot. It could be their relationship with a significant other. It could be, unfortunately, somebody that they care for. Especially for those of you, these people are attacking the vulnerabilities of your life. They've been doing that. For some of you, it's your children with open receivers, because that's vulnerability. So since they're attacking the vulnerability, then something vulnerable, and this could very well be, for some of you, however, that applies the shocks that some of these individuals are dealing with. Okay, let me keep it going.
Where did it go? That's crazy. Maybe you don't need that card because it disappeared. Let's get another one. It's hot in here. I got something in the oven. Gosh. Obsession is going in the reverse. Interesting. Recharging from the people that are obsessed with you greatly. So this could be the breaking of the parasitic holding. Worth the wait. Divine timing, manifesting true love is coming sooner. Interesting. You don't even know it. You don't even care. With all of the chakra colors here, though, you're working on that. For some of you, you're not focusing on romantic relationships because you realize that if you're not careful, this is the very thing that's used against you to drain your life.
Absolutely. I'm going to pause right there with that.
But it looks like you're...
Absolutely. What I'm learning is that essentially, if this is your life, that there's an attempt to exploit any and everything about your life, especially relationships. I don't even care if it's online relationships. I mean, the level of desperation that these beings operate in to deter you, to discourage you, to misguide you, misdirect you. There's no place they won't go, and they love using relationships, the closest thing to you. And this could have been some of the most painful lessons that you all have learned. The hardest, the most painful that, since the majority of the masses are purchased, people are living in fear, people are living in survival, people are, they don't have a thread of their own for whatever reason, and they operate, from this space, simply trying to take care of them and their children, even at the expense of someone else's and theirs. Okay. That's the way, of the majority of the masses. And so many of you, because of that, that's something that you put on the back burner a long time ago. That to have a relationship, some people feel like they've arrived somewhere just because they managed to get married or managed to get into commitment. But you all have learned that, that, yeah, sure, if you can have a healthy one, you realize that's why that card came out for the collective. It says worth the wait. You realize that, yeah, two is better than one if two ain't, this shit crazy, it be crazy, crazy. Yeah, so stop. Ain't nothing like your own. It's what's in your house. It's what you gotta lay with. Because whatever's on your significant is gonna be on you. Purr. Purr. Whatever they own, whatever they rolling with, because that's the most intimate dynamic you're gonna have. I know you guys would, you wish you could have had a normal life. It's like, yeah, that would be nice, but you realize that, well, not if it's something that's being used. Because if it's my enemy, then two ain't better than one. Now I'm trapped with my enemy. That smile at me, that make me pancakes and chocolate cake and, run errands and on paper. And with curses on my ass and shit. My energy all fucked up and discombobulated. Can't see straight, can't think straight. Don't feel like myself. So, some of us don't even realize that, sometimes that's what's happened and we get into these connections and we don't know, And for some of you, that negative stuff that's happening, those towers to these people that keeps creating towers or causing you to have towers in your life, some of this stuff is planned out in their houses behind the closed doors. Child.
Manifesting love and not know that you're manifesting love. Because I said,
but some of you are manifesting
knowing that true love is worth the wait.
Healthy.
You've learned some kind of lesson. You don't want to obsess people. You don't want to be obsessed with people. You don't want to deal with folks who've got a bunch of obsessive tendencies and obsessive people that ends up obsessed with you.
Yeah, because that's a whole lot of crazy.
Let's get it from the tarot. Oh, from this. We'll go fast. What's working for the collective? Oh, I wasn't expecting to see that. Mirror soul. You manifesting somebody. Is it going worth the wait? You don't know it. You're manifesting something here. This is hidden from you. Okay. Uh-oh, it's getting good. Drama queen, Thursday causing chaos is going in reverse. Okay, it looks like a drama. It's being removed. I don't know. Or your name is being cleared, or it's being removed because. Interesting. This is fascinating. Again, this could be stuff past, present, or future. You may not see this. And again, be practical. If you're still dealing with crazy shit, still take proper precaution. Please. Okay, to the best of your ability here. Okay? Avoiding. You're not avoiding something anymore. It's racing, running, and avoiding. It's in the reverse. Somebody's not running. You could be tired of running. Somebody else could be tired of running. And this is working for you. Because that's all they keep pushing you to do. You all want running just for fear. You're running because I can't stabilize. If I can't take care of myself and stabilize here, if I'm being thwarted, I need to find somewhere else. But you see that? Lure you into places and it ain't what it is, and now you're trapped and you can't feel it, and over and over and over and over. over again. Offer on the table. There could be an offer that you're manifesting. Okay? That's at the bottom there. All right, from the tarot, what's actually working, even if the collective doesn't see it because they're in the thick of active combat, constant attacks, their livelihood, their stability is all hanging in the balances here. They're dealing with possible displacement. They're dealing with people constantly trying to physically hurt them and their children and casting spells and being weird and just all kinds of weird shit as they try to navigate. What's working? Clarify. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. No, that's very interesting. I have Piscean energy, the Hangman. I have the Magician and the Moon. Huh. The pause. Seeing something from another perspective, the stagnation is helping you master something in the dark. Why is this coming out as something that is actually working for the collective? That's odd. They're all majors too. That's very odd. How is that working in honor of them, in favor of them, especially with that moon energy right there? Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands in reverse. Travel. Seven of Swords in the reverse. This is exposure. This is not sneaking off or something getting exposed or you seeing them. That's crazy. Clarify the second column. The Seven of Swords reverse, that's clarity, that's truth, that's openness, that's honesty, that's integrity, that's, people that's trying to stop your own strategies somehow working for you though. That's weird. With this illusion and moony and secret, with their spell work and stuff. And this manipulative behavior that's going on around you. The Chariot in the reverse. Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. Something to do with somebody that's trying to control the direction of your life, that's trying to stop your purpose and your forward movement. Not having transportation, not something getting out of control. Something could be being identified here. Why is this an honor? Because there's a lot of interesting energy. Ten of Swords in the reverse. How is that working for the collective though? This Liar, the Queen of Swords reverse, pissed you off too. This chaos, this conflict, people lying on you. Okay, now for you, I got the Five of Pentacles coming out in the reverse. Okay. Maybe you don't feel left out, even though you have been left out, even though people have stolen from you and sent a lot of negativity to you. There's an abundant energy, but the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. There was a blockage. Two of Pentacles crossed the seven.
Okay, I'm going to stop that there. The Lost Boys. If you guys want to go to the original video, it's titled The Lost Boys. Tub filled with garlic and cloves and water. And so somehow that's interwoven into the reading on the side of the collective. And I'm going to say that again with caution. I talk about tools that we put in our toolkit. I don't have the belief that there's one cookie cut answer, that there's a one size fit all. and that just some metaphysical stuff is gonna be the answer to things that's needing practical shit. But I do believe that, you know, just like the breath work, acupressure, mantras, mudras, affirmations, sigils, you know, all of those things, you know, essential oils, crystals, you know, metaphysical stuff, tactics and tools, I believe that it can serve to give you breathing room, to give you the space, the moment to better see and better navigate. So I just want to say that to be fair, because again, I get it as someone that is in the trenches and dealing with the same stuff that many of you all are dealing with, even possibly worse. Me and my sons are being hunted down like we're some kind of animals. And that's the truth. Whether or not people, you know, in this world want to accept and believe it, that is the truth. Okay? And all that comes with. Okay? When you have people with privilege and access to things to play with lives like it's a video game. Okay? That's the name of the game. That is what this is. So this stuff can help support to navigate through it with more precision, more clarity. Okay? And again, do everything practical you can, you know, within your means to do, as you feel guided to take care of yourself. Because a lot of this stuff is all entrapment, because the way they do these things, they're doing it in a way that does not look obvious to the world. So that way, it makes you look some kind of way. There's the opposite, people observing you that are not in the know of all this activity. See that? Okay. So, anywho, I'm going to end the share, because this was a share, because I did it in a unique way, because I wanted my energy to stay clear when I created the video originally. So the video is 5747 on the timestamp. That's the entire video. Interesting number that may be of significance for somebody to look into. It's 5747. Okay. Again, if you're a legit person out there seeing my video, I encourage you to support me and my son. It'll be most honored and received with honor. We are, you know, targeted. We are displaced. We are being systematically hindered. Everything that we're navigating through, including the very spot in which we sit, the people are involved. I am not blind to it. They've already been exposed. And, you know, this is the case no matter what we do and where we go. So if you all end up seeing this video and you want to support, I'm going to be, let's see, what am I, blah, 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 blah. You can Zelle. I got to add that on there so y'all can have access to that if you want to Zelle or Zelly, whatever the hell it's called. You can Zelle if you want to do that, if you want to support, okay? It's not what it seems, just like it's possibly not what it seemed for you, collective, or if you know someone that's dealing with this. It's not quite what it seemed. Their situations and why they're in them and why they keep happening, there's more to it than meets the eye. They're not some unstable invalids. They're not some fickle road runners always looking to avoid life. There are people hunting them, playing with resources, playing musical resources, calling them. It's all synchronized. Oh, we have something once they know you're gone, and now here's a phone call. It's games. So, every little bit counts. And I know that there are scammers in this world. I'm to the point though that I'm tired of even hearing like, there's so many scammers. That's always been the case. I'm tired of hearing that. So I'm not even going there, because when you know that you're sincere and legit, you shouldn't have to be accounting for the fact that they're scammers. Just like if you know you're not a cheater, you shouldn't have to be accounting for someone else who cheated. You shouldn't have to be the one suffering because those 10 people were cheaters. Those 10 people were liars. Those 10 people were, whores. Those 10 people, when you know you're not the cheater. So I know I'm not a scammer. And just because, somebody's got suspicions of everything. So somebody's got suspicion of somebody cheating because maybe this person, I don't know, maybe they were not available for an hour and that they remember the last time somebody wasn't is because they were cheating. You know what I'm saying? And likewise, anytime somebody's asking for some assistance, then they must be some kind of, good for nothing lollygag or slacker who's always looking for a scam. I'm not going to be even entertaining that anymore. It's just going to be people, it is what it is. They want to support, they don't want to support. When you know you're not what you're being accused of, or you're not everything else that they have possibly ran into. Everywhere you got scammers. I know Vegas is the cesspool of scammers, but I want to guarantee you and tell you, everywhere. Compton, Texas, full of them. It's everywhere. That's just life. It's everywhere. It's everything. Everywhere. Okay? Y'all know that too. So if you're anything like me, stop even tripping on that part. You don't need to have to constantly defend something that you don't need to defend. Funny thing, most of these people are being duped in real time. And that's the part I do get a nice, good laugh at. I actually do get to laugh at that. Because they're being duped in real time and not know it. As they be critically, critical and all that about you, they're being duped all at the same time. As they think they're covering their asses, they're being duped. As they think they're making the proper decision to not help or support you, they're being played and duped by the whole bags that's been lying to their ass since 2021. Being played in real time. They be supporting, most of these people are supporting scammers while they look at you with a fine-tooth comb. While they want to fine-tooth comb you, they're giving money, they're giving donations, they're running errands, they're doing favors, they're calling in this and that for scammers. Yes, sir. Gotta go.